Welcome to the Operation Game Night podcast, back and better than ever. And joining us today is a very, very special guest, a VIP, so to speak. It's Nick Murray from Bitewing Games. Nick, how you doing?
Great. Thanks for having me, you guys. Yeah, I kind of jumped on last minute and shocked you a little bit. I was actually I didn't mention this, but we were just barely watching Home Alone. I was showing my two girls Home Alone for the first time, and they're pretty into it. And that ended like 10 minutes ago. So
perfect.
That's why I just jumped on like all of a sudden and shocked you guys. But it's for a good cause. So
nice.
Yeah, Home Alone
and a classic.
Yeah.
And a classic.
Yeah. It's been a long time since I've seen it, so it was fun to revisit that. Very nostalgic.
Very nice. Well, we've got the Wet Bandits here as well. We've got Clay and Jared. How you doing, boys?
Oh, I'm doing so good. I just want to, be a fanboy here for a minute. I think I'm a Nick Murray fan more than these guys. I watched all your podcast videos. I even watched a couple of the bits. I have no business watching the bits with you and the guy from All Play. But you guys just talked about such interesting topics about board game production. I'm like, yeah, this is cool. And obviously, we're going to get into it. But your love for Knizia has been something that I've been particularly drawn to. So I'm very excited you're here with us.
Yeah, no, I appreciate you guys inviting me on. I mean, yeah, definitely. Knizia Games is very much a rabbit hole that it sounds like more than one of us has gone down, and very fun to explore his design catalog for somebody who's so passionate about gaming, very talented at it, been doing it for decades now. It's a hobby unto itself to just kind of explore his ludology. So
yeah.
How many? I tried to do a little bit of prep work. These two guys, they know me. I'm usually winging it. I tried to listen to the 6 episodes. There's probably more than just 6 episodes on YouTube.
I think there's just 6, but they are long episodes. Yeah.
You and Scott, which I love. You two have amazing chemistry, by the way.
Scott's hilarious.
Yeah, I loved it. And it really just reinvigorated my love for Knizia. Did not listen to all minutes. I will say that. Definitely
understandable.
Tried to get ready for today. Hopefully I provide good feedback, but I did wear a little piece of Northern Utah lore.
Hey.
I'm not sure if you are familiar with Herms.
Oh yeah, I love Herms. Yes.
Okay. Well, Clay and I will obviously arm wrestle for who Nick loves more at the end of this episode. But I am wearing the Herms hat, so I already have +1 strength. So.
Yes, for those who don't know, Herms is like a local brunch place in Logan. Very good food. Yeah, good choice.
Done. All right. Well, my job here is done. I'll probably just be listening the whole time, anyways, because you guys are beautifully just can put Knizia right where he is on a pedestal, and I'm just going to be listening this whole podcast. So I'm excited to get into it.
So we've kind of beat around the bush a little bit. Today we are doing our Mount Rushmore of Knizia games. So what that means is maybe not the best designs, maybe not his most popular, but those that we think are most important to the board gaming sphere. Maybe they have unique mechanisms that have been carried over into other games. Maybe it's just like a game that stands on its own as like a pillar in the board game community. I know we'll talk some of those already, but Nick, how many Knizia games would you say that you've played?
Yeah, I mean, so if you count the ones that are unpublished that have been pitched to me at one point or another, I'm definitely over 200 at this point.
Wow.
As far as like published games that are known entities, it's probably just under 200. So either way, it's far too many. Actually, I got to meet Reiner in person at Essen. This is my first time at Essen this year, and so I had the pleasure of meeting him and his team in person. And I brought up to him, I was like, yeah, I'm at about 200 of your games played, which honestly, if you talk to most publishers or really anybody, but most publishers who've even worked with him, that's probably way higher than most publishers have reached. And they were immediately just like, oh, so you only have 600 to go. And I'm like,
oh my God.
Yep. That's correct.
What a flex.
Yeah, it was pretty funny. So
yeah, I went to Essen, not this past October, at the previous year, and man, that is an overwhelming experience. That is just chaos.
Yeah, Yeah, biggest convention in the world. It's just like you take I was just at PAX Unplugged. You take that exhibitor hall, and that's just one of 7, basically. Like, just multiply that by 7, and that's pretty much Essen. And yeah, it was funny because that first day of our booth, we got slammed. Everybody comes in and they immediately want to buy all the new releases on their list before they sell out. So we just got slammed for the first like 7 or 8 hours, and I didn't think I was going to be able to step away. But finally, the last hour, things slowed down a little bit, and I was like, okay, I've got my own list. I'm going to do the run. But Essen, like they're so far ahead of everybody else. They have an app where you can just input all the games you're interested in, and then it'll just give you a route. And it's like, okay, here's the most efficient route through all these exhibitor halls to get the games that you want to get. And so I did that loop in like an hour.
Wow.
And probably walked a couple miles doing it because it sent me in like a spiral. It was pretty wild. So, but very, very cool show. If you ever get the chance to go, I definitely recommend it. And I think it's best to honestly show up a few days early or stay a few days late, and then like check out a bit of Europe too, and just train around because it's fun. It was a lot of fun. So
yeah, well, I had the advantage of living like an hour and a half south, so I drove up there and got to stay in Dusseldorf and made a whole thing of it. So yeah, what an experience, and super overwhelming. Even with an app, it's too much. So
yeah,
we'll have to all convene there someday and do a speed run of Essen.
Yes, good times.
Awesome. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull up a spreadsheet, and we are going to just go around the horn and list some games that we believe should be under consideration for the Mount Rushmore of games. So, Nick, I'm going to let you start it off with a game that you believe is at least in the top 12 of Knizia games that you think could end up on their Mount Rushmore.
Yes. Yeah. Well, I gotta add my favorite in off the bat, Tigris and Euphrates. This was at one point ranked number 1 on Board Game Geek for several years, but it's been a couple decades since then. But now I don't think he has a single game in the BGG Top 100. That just shows how far society's fallen. But
oh my God, is that a true fact?
I think so. I think T&E got bumped off like a couple of years ago, and there hasn't been one on since.
Not a single.
It doesn't help that Tigris and Euphrates has been out of print for years now. Yeah. Obviously, that's about to change with the recent announcement from 25th Century Games, which is great. They're bringing it back with a bang, and with Ian O'Toole doing the raw treatment to Tigris and Euphrates. But
heck
yeah, this to me is one of his masterpieces. It's a game that I don't know if we want to go into depth or if we just want to keep throwing out names. But
you can give it the spiel right now if you want.
Yeah, the quick spiel. So yeah, I mean, Tigris and Euphrates. It's one of many of his really clever tile placement strategy games, but this one just has so many layers to it strategically, and it has stood the test of time. It came out in the 90s, and it's still one of the most brilliant games of all time. It kind of has like a bird's eye view of civilization and the rise and fall of nations and such. But on the smaller, kind of the more player scale, I suppose, it's all about controlling and building up these nations and then ramming them into other nations and then revolting against leaders and kicking them out and stuff. You can make some of the most satisfying, like brilliant maneuvers. And there's of course like drama with the hidden tiles behind your screen, and when you attack somebody, it's like, how many tiles of that color do they have? And so yeah, I just love it. It's one that's, it's very weird. I think it can take a play or two to kind of wrap your head around, but yeah, it just keeps rewarding repeat plays. So Tigris and Euphrates is my first nomination.
Wow, what a heavy one to start with, and a difficult one to spell. Thanks for putting me on the spot like that.
Yeah, looks like you got it though. Well done.
All right. I'm going to go in order that we appear here on the screen. I don't know if you guys see the same order, but Jared, why don't you hit me with your entry into the top 12?
I'm obviously not going to give you as deep of a background of this one, but I was kind of, when I was doing a quick review and thought process, I was going for something my style, something party-like, something more llama, gives you 2 bang for the bucks, because there's a dice llama and a card llama. And I'm just saying, it gets the people going. It's so simple and easy, and it represents more than just one game. It represents a whole vibe. You get one llama on the Mount Rushmore of Knizia, and it represents more than just one game. So have a lot of fun playing that. You don't have to think too much about it, but there's still a little bit of decision making happening, and it's just a lot of fun.
Okay.
Ooh, Llama Suite. I love that. Thank you.
Yeah.
The Llama suite of games.
We might have to whittle that down if it makes it to the final four, but
I don't think it will.
Yeah. Yeah. You're not going to.
It was worth a try. It was worth a shot.
Clayton.
Yeah. So my first entry into the top 12 is going to be Lost Cities. I think that Lost Cities might be one of. I love it and I hate it because every time I play it, it's so agonizing just trying to play a card in that game. And I just think that tension is so perfect for a tight little 2-player 15-minute game. My wife and I always come back to this. The scoring's interesting. You kind of have to push your luck to decide which colors you want to invest in. And as you're, but for people that don't know, you're trying to like form runs of cards in different colors. And you want to start with, the low numbers. You go 2, 3, 4 to 10. And if you have the 10 in your hand, you want to build up with the lower numbers first, but you might not have those lower numbers. So there's just these tensions of like, man, how long do I wait to try and get these cards I need to really make this investment pay off? And then there's these wager cards that can double or triple your score if you manage to, get above the 20-point scoring criteria in each of the columns. And then they equally decrease your points if you then bomb it on that row. And, I just think that game is such a clever, perfect little 2-player design. Could have brought in Shot and Totten here or Battle Line, but for me, Lost Cities has been the one that I always keep coming back to. So that's my first little battle cry here.
Nice. Great one. I'm going to pick a game that might not reach the top of people's list, but I think it's important in Reiner Knizia's catalog, and that is Siege of Rundar.
Oh my gosh.
That is a cooperative tower defense game, kind of unlike Mr. the Good Dr. Knizia. He doesn't do a whole lot of cooperative, doesn't do tower defense really, but Siege of Rundar is important because when he does it big, and the production on Siege of Rundar is amazing. You play inside the box, which represents your kind of battle arena, divided up into sectors where you are these dwarves that are trying to dig yourself out of a collapsed cave or something, out of your realm. And while you're doing that, you're fending off this this game box from encroaching goblins that are trying to kill your dwarves. And I think it's important because he doesn't do things like this very often. You get the auction, you get the route building, you get these different mechanisms that he does, but cooperative tower defense he does not do very often. And I think it's important for the cooperative tower defense suite of games. Genre. That's what I'm looking for. Thank you.
It's a niche genre.
Yes, it is.
But
all right, Nick,
you, Travis.
Yeah, these are good picks. A side note for Siege of Rundar, I have good memories of playing that game. When I lived in Arizona, I happened to live very close to the illustrator of that game, who is Andrew Bosley.
Yeah.
And got to make friends with him. And I had picked up Siege of Rundar. I don't know if I ordered it overseas or somehow I acquired it early, basically. And he still hadn't received his copy yet. So like I messaged him like, Andrew, let's play. So yeah, one time during one of like his work days, I just brought it over and we just played Siege of Rundar. I can't remember if we won or not because it's kind of a hard game.
It's challenging. It is very challenging.
And yeah, it was a lot of fun to play that with him. And yeah, I am a fan of that game. It's got a lot of interesting stuff going on. So
what
yeah,
a
good
flex.
choices.
Get to play it with the artist before he even got his copy.
Yeah, Andrew's a stud. I love Andrew.
He's
so
great.
Okay, so I guess going along the same lines of Siege of Rundar is kind of sort of a deck builder style game. It's got a little bit of that flavor. A little bit of that flavor to it. But I think one that we can definitely not leave off this list is the Quest for El Dorado.
No.
Whole series.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And for a lot of reasons, really. I had the chance to interview Reiner like early on when I started working with him and ask him about it. And he's got such a passion and a love for this game. And he's brought it up in other interviews too. I think this is probably one of his most proud creations, especially of recent years. And basically, at the time, somebody eventually showed him Dominion. This was years after it came out, and somebody in his circle, and he talks about it as like it felt like it was kind of counterintuitive, like there was no like it was very cleverly designed, and it's cool the system behind it, but it doesn't totally make sense. Like, okay, you're adding things to your deck and you're cycling through it, and like what's the purpose behind it and stuff. And when he learned it, he felt like maybe there was a more innovative or maybe not innovative but more intuitive way to introduce deck building to people. And so in his mind, he's like, well, if I designed a game like this, I think I would attach it to a race or like a map, where if you want to enter the jungle space, you need a machete to work your way through. If you want to enter the water space, you're going to need a paddle and a canoe. And so yeah, he kind of just started with like, how do I make deck building more intuitive, more approachable? And the result was Quest for El Dorado. And what's interesting on the opposite end of it from the gamer perspective is, I think for many years he was still pumping out games, but a lot of them were more family weights. He was definitely doing a lot more in like the apps and electronic game sphere and stuff. So on like the BGG end of things, the hobbyist end of things, people kind of saw him as like, oh, maybe he's lost his touch, or like, he hasn't made a classic amazing game in years and whatever. And so for whatever reason, like what he was doing didn't quite, it was kind of diverging from what hobbyists were wanting and things like that. But then he comes out with Quest for El Dorado, and I think that really put him back on the map. And people talk about the Renaissance, the comeback of Knizia. And most people point to El Dorado as like, this is the one that really put him back on the map for hobbyist gamers as well. So, and I think the game is excellent, especially with the expansions included. And there's just so much content to dig into. I know for the US folks, it's been frustrating because Ravensburger is the North American publisher of this, and they haven't been supporting the newest expansions. But every time I talk to Reiner, he keeps saying like, "Oh, they're gonna come around and bring out the expansions." So hopefully, things around the corner, and maybe by next year we might get lucky and see like all the content finally come to North America. I've been ordering it from overseas personally to just because I'm a big fan of that game. So Quest for El Dorado, that's my pick. Next one,
worth importing.
Great pick.
Yeah, very very nice.
Yeah,
Jared,
Clay introduced me to that one month or two ago, and that's what I was going to say, but that's okay. I'll just go to my next one. Raw. Yes. I mean, how can we? I can't believe it took me to my number 3. I thought I wasn't even going to get to Raw, but the clanky big bag. When I get my hand into that big bag to get those little clanky chits out, I absolutely loved it. Learned it like 3 years ago, and then never played it until Thanksgiving a couple weeks ago. Last week.
Yes.
But just reminds me of how fun it is, and the idea of like washing away some of those tiles, and some of the tiles stick around, and it's just like every time you play, it's completely different. And plus, this is something, Nick, that you'll learn about Operation Game Night. We love a big velvety bag, and we're still working on trying to get our own bag, Operation Game Night bag, and I think that would be top notch, career goal for me is to have our own bag. But really had a lot of fun playing this with my boys last week. But great art. Great experience every time you play it. It's you never know when that red shit's coming out and everyone's going, oh, great experience at the table that I love. So I'm rawing it up.
So good.
Raw.
Clay, what you got?
There might only live to be one of these auction games in the final four, but I got to throw out, I don't know. I go back and forth between Ra and this game, but Modern Art is one that I think deserves to be in contention for a Mount Rushmore. Mm-hmm. I mean, talk about just going all in on auctions. Every turn, it's an auction, and it's a different auction. Sometimes you're just yelling out prices. You got a guy banging a gavel. Sometimes you're secretly auctioning. Other times you're just like one-upping each other. So it's got all these different interesting auction variants, and it all kind of lays on this, theme of artists increasing and decreasing over value based on how popular they were in different rounds. So, you kind of have an idea what an artist's paintings might go for at the end of the round, but, you can really get people gassed up, and you try and sell these paintings for maybe more than they will be worth. And then you get that money. So that aspect of it, where when you're selling the paintings, you get a chance to make money. But then when you're buying paintings, you're hoping you're getting a deal. And then at the end of the round, you can sell them back because they were popular. I just think this game has always been fun. I love the environment it creates around the table. It's a game where you're engaged with everybody else, and it's like 40, 45 minutes. It's just a winner for me. A little more raucous than Ra, a little probably less tight. I personally don't know if it's as well designed, but I do enjoy the experience of playing it, and I think it has been important in the board gaming hobby. So I'm throwing out Modern Art.
Nice.
Good choice.
Okay. I think Reiner is great at route building games. So I am going to put Blue Lagoon. That is my Reiner Knizia route building game of choice. It is super tight. You can teach it to anybody. You put down your initial tribe out there. You're trying to reach as many islands as you can. You're trying to race for resources. And just the map design itself is so perfect that it lends itself to route blocking, a little bit of strategery. You can outmaneuver people. You can sneak away with wins based on the resources that you collect. And then you go into phase 2 with your encampments and building out from there. And it changes the strategy. It changes the map. It changes everything on that second round. And it's such a great route building game. And I think it's one of the ones that really showcases Reiner's ability to do route building the best. So I'm going to
now this is interesting, in contention with other games like Through the Desert. I mean,
Through the Desert is great.
I personally prefer Blue Lagoon, but I think it is a contentious choice for the Mount Rushmore.
Yeah.
But personally, for me, I think I like Blue Lagoon better than the old classic Through the Desert. But
I think Nick would go Through the Desert.
Yeah, I think Through the Desert has a slight edge for me. I don't know. It's interesting. You talk to different people, and everybody has different takes. Like Blue Lagoon has the advantage of I guess it's more beginner friendly. I would say, where you don't have to set up your starting positions in Blue Lagoon. You just go, and your starting positions can be as much as you want, like anywhere and everywhere, and it's during the game. Whereas Through the Desert, it's like, all right, I'm going to teach you this new game, and now for the most important decision you'll make this whole game, you're going to decide where you start, and that can be a little overwhelming. But on the other hand, like Through the Desert has some spicy elements of like you're placing 2 things per turn instead of just 1, and so you can have kind of more of these like sneak attacks where somebody can. Or you got to be more watchful of like, if somebody can invest their whole turn into this thing, they can kind of, broach into my territory, and I don't want that to happen. Whereas Blue Lagoon, it's like slower, but it's I don't know. Both games are excellent, so I can't be mad with either choice.
Yeah, I think that's what gets me is like you start with an empty map, and it's just place a person somewhere on this hex, and the open-ended decision right off the bat. I think it's just as important as Through the Desert. You're not like setting up that initial encampment that then you're sprawling out from, but that first route that you start to build is super important to the second round of the game when then you're expanding from your encampment. So yeah, I think that was what edged it out for me, was that it's just so open. that first round, and you can kind of just play around with it and see what routes develop, and then maximize those routes the second round.
Yeah, I like that it's split up into 2 phases where you're kind of like deciding where to commit your huts, and that's where you spread the second round. It's very cool. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I thought I liked Rebirth, and then I got Blue Lagoon, and I was like, "Whoa!" But it was very surprising Travis chose Blue Lagoon, because last year on the podcast, these two guys pitched me games, and I chose Travis's game, which was not Blue Lagoon. So it's interesting.
I pitched Jared Blue Lagoon, and Travis badmouthed it to try
All
to win the
long.
pitch
Wow.
off.
It was all for the sake of the pitch. Okay.
Gamesmanship, huh?
You got to do what you got to do.
Yeah, you know, he does his thing. You know, it's okay.
Nick, back to you.
Okay. We each have one more, right?
Yeah, for top 12, yeah.
Correct.
Okay. Well, I'll shamelessly plug one that I've published here, and I think it has good enough reason to be on here, though. This is Zoo Vadis. Zoo Vadis is a negotiation game, which is quite different from anything else on this list. Definitely feels, it's still got that Knizia elegance of like, you get to do one thing on your turn. Here you're, in this case, like 4 options. And there's definitely an action efficiency element to it where it's like, well, if I do this, then I'm falling behind on this, but to me, Zoo Vadis has a very special place in my heart. It wasn't the first Knizia game that we published, but it really, I think, was like the launching pad to really put us on the map. And it definitely set the blueprint for how we approach publishing Knizia games after that as well, because this started as a 1992 game in Quo Vadis. That's that game I stumbled upon it several years ago and played it a couple times and was like, this is really cool, but I could tell on BGG like it was just totally forgotten, like nobody talked about it or anything. But I felt like there's still enough game and enough unique of an experience there that it could exist in today's market. And after my third play, that's kind of when inspiration struck of like, oh, there's more threads here that we could pull on, or like maybe there's more potential that we could explore in the design space here. And that's where I kind of cooked up a whole SWOT analysis is what I call it. I went for undergrad. We were talking about Logan before this, but I went to Utah State University, and I was a business administration major. And so I took a lot of business classes, and the SWOT analysis is like where you just evaluate something based on its strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. And like I scoured through all the BGG forums for Quo Vadis. I looked at the reviews, and I came up with this analysis and these ideas, and I presented it all to Reiner and was like, hey, here's what I think we could do to kind of revitalize this design that's been dead for, a couple decades now. And luckily he was game for, reworking it essentially and taking our feedback based on everybody's experience with it on Board Game Geek and their opinions and stuff, and turning it into something even more special. And yeah, it was cool to see, like when we first revealed this game, we were still kind of a no-name publisher, but it ended up on the BGG hotness list right at the top. And it was like, okay, there's definitely an interest here for this game. And when Reiner came back with the new developed version too, and even when I was trying it, I was like, holy smokes, this might be one of my favorite games I've ever played now. Like, this is so cool what he's done with it. So anyways, it's negotiation. You can you have your own animal abilities, and you can't spend them on yourself. You have to use them as bartering chips, basically, and be like, I'm going to spend my ability on you and let you take advantage of my ability, but you're going to help me in return. And so it definitely is not for everybody if you don't like that amount of social, bartering and back and forth and stuff. And some people can definitely spoil the game for everybody, depending on how they approach it. But it's still one of my favorite games to play. So Zoo Vadis is my final pick.
Nice.
That was going to be my next pick if you didn't take it. So I knew it was going to end up on here eventually.
It does kind of round out the genres,
Yeah.
It is one that we haven't touched on yet. So that's good.
Yeah, great pick. Jared, over to you.
This one, I I don't think we've gotten too many now. Push your luck kind of guys. And Nick, I did hear you talk about how you're allergic to cats. So I'm sorry to bring MLEM onto the list here.
MLEM is great. Honestly, I love MLEM.
We had ran it back 3 times on Thanksgiving last week because it was so fun to try and get those kitties into the deep outer space. And just having those little kitty abilities. And there's kind of like this group, like, let's do this together, but you're also kind of competing against each other. And again, it's just like so accessible. You just roll and die. That's all you're really doing. But it's just really fun. Art is great. And anytime I get to push my luck and anytime it's closer to the party side of things, that's really touching what Jerry really likes. So I'm throwing MLEM on there for my last one and trying to get kitties onto the Mount Rushmore. So we're going to see what we can do here.
And if you're wondering why he calls it MLEM, it's because we were talking about MLEM for weeks on end, and then once he got it brought to the table, Clay brought it up to his house, or he brought it down to Jared's house. He was like, "Oh, there's an M in front of it," so now he says MLEM.
MLEM. I call it MLEM.
Get it right.
God,
that's fair.
Oh man,
you're driving me nuts with that, man.
Clay, over to you.
Yeah, I was honestly going to go MLEM next, and I know there, Nick. I think I listened to it was one of your top 10 games of the year a couple years ago.
Yeah,
whenever it came out, and so I know you have an affinity for this game too, and I just landed this sucker last year at my number 2 game of all time. Like,
awesome.
Is it a Knizia Mount Rushmore? Probably not. But I mean, we don't have a dice game on here, and I think he has dabbled quite a bit in the dice genre. And to me,
he's made so many. Yeah, I agree. This is one of his top ones, right?
Yeah, I mean, I just played today with my kids. I mean, I've played this game so much, and I've never not enjoyed the experience. So kudos on the pick, Jared. Thanks for beating me to it. But I guess I'll go, just to stroke Nick's Bitewing ego a little bit here. I'm going to go with Beowulf the Legend turned into Ego. Because, and again, Beowulf had mixed reception, which is why it got the SWOT analysis from Bitewing. And you guys definitely gussied it up in Ego. And it's beautiful. It cleaned up a lot of things. And I just think there's not many games like this out there. In general, it's like an auction game. But I have never played anything where you like just go from thing to thing and like each little thing's different. It's just like a little journey you're going through and kind of managing your hand the whole way through. And it's such an interesting experience. I want more games like this. I want more designs like this. So maybe this is an aspirational Mount Rushmore for me. I think other designers and even Knizia himself needs to explore this type of like, what would you even call this, Nick? Like, what is that type of game?
I mean, I pitch it to people as like an epic push your luck auction adventure.
Yeah,
it's competitive, right?
And
like you're on this in both Beowulf and Ego. You're on this like journey together, right? And you're progressing through a sequence of events. And in the case of Beowulf, that sequence doesn't change. With Ego, it's randomized, but in either case, it's like we're all doing this together, and we're gonna do this event and this event and this event, and like. Yeah, it really stood out to me when I played another auction game like the same week as Ego, and I just realized like, wow, there's like no downtime in Ego. Like you're just constantly participating in the next thing and the next thing. Yeah. And I agree, it's very unique, but it's also one of my like out of all the games we've published, it's one of my favorite games to play because it's just such a riot, especially at like 4 and 5 players. It's just such a blast. So.
Yeah, I really want to play it. I've only played it at 3 a few times, and I played it at 2 a couple times, and I played Beowulf at a higher player count. But yeah, I love like the way that these games are set up, and I am happy to have it here in the top 12.
Yes.
Great choice. I see that we're missing a bit of set collection on here. And I'm going to go with Mille Fiori.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
We started with a difficult one to spell. I'm going to end with a difficult one to spell.
Yes.
Oh, Fiori.
You got it.
Mm-hmm.
So I have not played this game a whole lot, but I just remember it being super tight. That collection, you're like trying to strategize what you need most to maximize your turns.
I would consider it more of a drafting game,
Sure.
almost like a roll and ready draft game.
Yeah.
Where you're going up on different tracks and competing in different areas.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, just for the sake of categorization.
Yeah. But man, I remember that game being so tight and really special. So I'm going to go with Mille Fiori. Clay, maybe you could help me out with the description a little bit.
No, I mean, it's basically what I just said. I mean, you have a big board, and each different area of the board has different ways that you're scoring points. And on your turn, it's like a pick and pass, kind of like Sushi Go. Everybody picks a card, and then you get to take an action on the said little mini game that you chose the card for.
Yeah, that's right.
And then each mini game kind of interlinks with the other mini games, and you reach certain spots on the track, and you trigger something else on another one. And so you're just, trying to, it's like a point salad combo-y spectacular game. I really like this game too. I do not play it enough. For whatever reason, it's just like enough that every time I think I want to play it, I'm like, I don't exactly remember how to play.
Yeah.
I know I like it, but it seems like more of and I got the stinking expansion, which muddied the waters even more.
Sure.
And then anytime I get an expansion for a game, it inevitably makes it less likely that I'm going to play the game because I mix all the stuff in there, and then I'm trying to figure out, oh man, what's what. And so, this one suffered from me getting the expansion, and now I'm overwhelmed by it.
That's how it goes.
Expansion overload.
Yeah, I like this one a lot too. It's definitely, like you said, a point salad game, but it has teeth. Like, what I choose can definitely affect you. And like, you're trying to read other people and think like, okay, are they going to draft a key this round? Or am I going to be the first person to play a key this round? And the turn order very much matters. If a couple people are going before you, you don't see what they draft until it's their turn to reveal it. And so, I love this one. It's very, very spicy. Even though it has constant, dopamine hits of like combos and points you're getting, it's got teeth. And so I definitely appreciate Mille Fiori.
Yeah. Okay. So now we have our top 12. And for those listening, it's Tigris and Euphrates, the Llama suite of games, Lost Cities, Siege of Rundar, Quest for El Dorado, Raw, Modern Art, Blue Lagoon, Zoo Vadis, MLEM, Beowulf/Ego, and Mille Fiori. So, where do you guys want to start with cuts?
Where is this going? Where is this going? It's going
on the Mount Rushmore of Knizia games. What do you mean?
Yeah, but it's going in Germany. He's from Germany, right?
Oh, where are we building this?
Yeah, where's it going?
Ooh. We'll build it right next to the current Mount Rushmore.
Oh, yes. Love it.
There you go. Just stack it on top.
Yeah.
It's perfect.
Yeah. So I am proposing that we maybe start with picking, kind of going by genre/mechanism. So I see that we have a couple of different bidding games, auction games.
Mm-hmm.
We've got some press your luck games. I don't know. What do you guys think? Are there any that are jumping out to you as like, no, we don't need those, or that one must move up?
I think you have to make a choice between the auction games.
Okay.
Raw, Modern Art. I don't really want to throw Ego in that lot because that's,
you got to do what you got to do, right?
Yeah. To me, that's
if you go with like the most popular game that like, I don't know, I guess it depends on what's our criteria for like what deserves to be in the Mount Rushmore, right? Like if you go with what do we want to show people that just like blows their socks away and is most likely to make them go down the rabbit hole of even more Knizia games? Then in my mind, Raw is the one that has like stood the test of time, and Modern Art to some extent has as well. Like that game has like a bajillion different language editions, which is really cool. Like I think there was a museum for that game even at one point, which gives it, there's an argument for putting it on Mount Rushmore, like if it has its own museum set up, right? But yeah, there's so many different language versions of that. But for me, like, and especially for hobbyist gamers, like Raw has just been so hot since it's the release of the new version, and it's one of my top 3 Knizias. So if you're gonna ask me, I'm pointing at Raw, but I want to hear what your guys' take is, because these are tough choices,
Yeah, I think we could probably all agree on putting Raw through to the top 8. I think if we take a vote right now, you've got Clay saying yes, Nick saying yes, Jared put it on the top 12, Travis.
Yeah, I do love Raw.
Raw's making it through.
I don't think we have to get down to one auction game right now. Like 8 gives us a little bit of wiggle room where we can at least have the discussion about modern art next time if we want to move modern art up. And I think if we're aiming for the most important, being like it has impacted other games, it has impacted other designs, people have drawn inspiration from those games, modern art might move up to top 8 anyways.
Yeah. And if you just hearing you say that, maybe we cut, I hate to say it, llamas. It was cute. And it was an honor to have you on top 12, but I don't know. I don't know if I could make it to 8.
Devil's advocate, this is like if you have your family over who never plays games and all they know is Uno.
Gosh.
This in my mind is like, Nick, this is what Uno should be, right? Or this
is what Uno should be.
Yeah, like really Uno has sold just absolute gangbusters. They're in the millions of copies sold. And like when I look at Uno, I'm like, I'd rather just play Llama. Or if somebody suggested me Uno, I'd be like, no, we're playing Llama, because it actually has that interesting twist of like, when do I pass, or should I pass, or should I stay in? Outside of that, it's like a very dumb game, right? But there are layers to it, and there's like a clever enough twist within its simplicity that it's like, yeah, this is pretty good, right? But yeah, I can see like a lot of hobbyist gamers, they're not going to be fans of Llama because it's just very light.
It's so light, but it still does have such good decisions, even though it's so simple. It's so that's what's so beautiful about it. That's I'm so sad because I just keep reading up and down this list, and it's beautiful.
I would like to
what we've done, boys.
It's a good list.
Let's table Llama for a second. I would like to make a formal pitch to the group that no bias here, but I'd like to push Lost Cities through the top 8.
Can we? Fair.
Okay.
I think it's important.
Down. Yep.
Yeah, second that.
That is important.
Okay.
Can we push modern art to the top 8? Is it worth discussing that versus Raw, or is like Raw stands alone as the monolith of auction games for Knizia? This is something that he does very well. I was about to put High Society on here as well.
Shoot, yeah.
He has some awesome auction bidding games. Is modern art worth moving up to 8?
I think if it goes up, it's like 7 or 8 for me, just because Raw's already on there.
But
that's just my take. Like I think it's a maybe, depending on how much space is left. But
I mean, we're only cutting 4, and Llama's already hit the cutting room floor. So maybe, do we move it up and see if it holds?
Sure.
Okay. Boom. We're at 3. Raw, Lost Cities, and modern art. What else needs to move up?
I think Quest for El Dorado. I'm all in on that. I think, again, you shocked me when you told me that Knizia doesn't have a single game in the top 100. I think if there was ever a game of his to make it, it should be the Quest for El Dorado, or I want it to be, because I just think it's the game more people need to play.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I think this one's close to the top 100. Actually, let's see. It's one of his top ranked games. 121. So there's just kick out like 21 other garbage games in the top 100. That shouldn't be too hard.
And, there's plenty of those.
Make them for El Dorado. I'm kidding. It's fine. Everybody has different tastes. So
right.
We're a beautiful, spectrum of opinions.
Yeah.
A kaleidoscope of preferences.
Yes.
Okay. I think Tigris and Euphrates needs to move up.
Yeah, definitely. I second that.
Okay. Any like hesitancy on Tigris and Euphrates?
I can't say no to that.
Okay.
To me, T&E is like, that should last, like, when the apocalypse happens and people are still playing Go, because that's just like, it's been around, and chess, they've been around since the dawn of time. Like, I feel like Tigris and Euphrates deserves to be right next to those. That's kind of my take on that game. But
can we whip up a BGA of Tigris and Euphrates? Because I need
there.
Yeah, I know. But can we get a game going?
Let's get it.
Should. Yeah.
All right.
We've got 5 on the top 8 so far. Raw, Lost Cities, Modern Art, Quest for El Dorado, and Tigris and Euphrates. What are our last 3?
Oh man.
I vote we push MLEM through. Just
yes.
It's such a riot. Like, right. I know it's kind of new, and I don't personally love the look of it, I suppose is how you put it. Like,
yeah,
I guess it definitely has sold better. Like, I can't talk bad about it in any way because it's sold better than anything I've published. And like, yeah, it's such a good game though. I feel like Reiner has this affinity for dice and for push your luck, and MLEM just elevates that because it brings everybody together. Like, you care about, it's one person's doing the rolling, but like, it affects you. If you're in that ship, then you're like, all right, please don't mess this up, even though they have no control over it, right? Yeah. And then as soon as you jump out, you're like, please just blow up. I want to see you all just like turn into balls of fire. That would be hilarious. And like, in either perspective, it's just so enthralling. I love MLEM.
Oh my God. Yeah. You just get me fired up just talking about it. I mean, Jared was rolling so many afterburners. You wouldn't believe it. We would get almost to deep space and that guy hadn't lost a die yet. It was crazy.
Oh yeah. Hot hands.
Okay. So for the OGN crew, I think Nick is being a bit modest and has not pushed Zoo Vadis or Ego. I think one of those needs to move up for sure.
We'll let Nick decide.
Let me decide. I think it's Zoo Vadis then. Like, Ego is one of my top 10 like games I've ever played as far as my experience, but Zoo Vadis is as well. And I think Zoo Vadis is definitely the more popular of the two, but it's also the more unique. I don't know, they're both pretty unique, but like, this is negotiation we're talking about, and like I mean, it offers a very different kind of interaction with people than what you get with pretty much any other Knizia game, which is cool to see.
Yeah, absolutely. I love that, like, kind of above the table type stuff that occurs during Zoo Vadis. It makes it spicy in a good way. Yeah. Good spice. Okay, we got one more spot. Right now we're sitting at Raw, Lost Cities, Modern Art, Quest for El Dorado, Tigris and Euphrates, MLEM, and Zoo Vadis.
Listen, Travis, I want to circle back to Llama. Okay. I think Knizia does make a ton of swift little card games. Yeah. And I think this just might be the epitome of that genre that I want people to know about. I mean, that's me personally. Maybe
it's a whole suite.
Yeah, he's got so many little card games. I mean, I was just playing Poison the other day with Jared again, and I love that game too. But there's so many card games that are just a fun, light, good time. And I don't want those to be forgotten about in the midst of such heavy affair like MLEM.
Yeah. Okay.
Big boys.
Are we wanting to show a breadth of design and do like route building, Blue Lagoon, or I know that you guys don't love Siege of Rundar. I think it's important in his suite of designs because he doesn't do anything like that. And I think it shows a little bit of breadth in the good doctor's ability to design unique games.
If I was going a co-op game for Knizia, I would go Lord of the Rings.
Yeah. Okay.
That old
definitely
one.
Been more impactful, right? Of the two, Siege of Rundar, I think it was like super hot when it was first announced, and then like it kind of just dropped off quickly at least from what I've observed. But like, yeah, it's such a cool design. I can see the desire to push it up. But yeah, Lord of the Rings is probably the more impactfful of the two, even though it probably hasn't aged as well.
No.
Okay, so I picked incorrectly. I get it. Okay.
Get out of here, Travis.
Yeah. Well, those that don't love Siege are fake fans, okay? You guys don't like Reiner Knizia at all. Okay. Blue Lagoon ?
I would have to.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, I would. To me, the one that's moving up is between Ego, Blue Lagoon, or Llama at this point.
So the other three that we have left.
Yes. Well, Mille Fiori. I'm not.
Mille Fiori.
I'm not considering that.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, my two picks would actually probably be Mille Fiori or Llama, personally, just because like Llama is just like most of these games in our top 8. You know, I can't really play these with my grandma or with my niece or whatever, or with my mom even. You know, MLEM, I definitely can teach that to anybody, and then if I push hard enough, I can get them into some of these other ones. But yeah, those Llama's like, if you want the that side of Reiner's design style, like the family weight, like casual card game, then that's a great choice. Mille Fiori is very popular, so I could see an argument for that. It's probably.
I'm going to pose a counter argument. Do we already have like a lighter style game in MLEM? Like, should we pull up Mille
intimidating.
Fiori?
It's big box.
Yeah.
We need a small box game on the list.
Sure.
That's my take. Nick, just out of curiosity, do you have a lot like a better embodiment of a light small box, you know, fun, silly card game that you like from Knizia? I mean, Llama's the one that we've played a lot and that I hear people talk about. I know there's a million more.
Open our eyes.
Yeah. Is there one that you think should be on this list instead of Llama?
Yeah.
This is your chance this is your chance to push one straight to the top 8.
Yeah. Jump. Yeah.
The sneak attack, right? Yeah, I mean, I could see an argument for High Society, but again, that's like, no, we got 3 auction games on the list, but it's a banger. I mean, it's very good small box card game, and that's arguably one that you could teach anybody. Like, it's very straightforward. Obviously, more rules going on than Llama. I'm not going to play that with my 6-year-old compared to Llama, but
yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm happy with Llama, but I'm happy with one. You know, this is a pretty solid list. So if there's one you guys want to push up from the top 12, that's totally fine. Yeah, I think 3 auction games on the top 8. I mean, Reiner is, in my opinion, the greatest auction designer of all time. So it's like, it makes sense if there's that many on there, but also he subtly has so many others. Okay, here's my wild horse. Here's my This is not an auction game. This is not a card game. This is Viking Seesaw. That's going to be my.
My god!
If you want to consider like a dark horse recommendation, my pick is Viking Seesaw, because it's just like, the more I play it, the more I'm like, why do I play any other stacking games? Like, this is it's small, it's compact, and then it's got that spicy element of like, I don't know if you guys have played this, but
no.
It's got a seesaw, and you have to add to the high end, and you have different weights and different textures of materials. Like, you have a metal cube, and you have a very light but like very uneven gem, and a light wood meeple and stuff. And it's like, what do I add to? It's kind of like Uno. You're trying to get rid of all your pieces in front of you, but you get to decide which one you add next. And if you add something that's a little too heavy, or if you put it in the wrong spot where physics causes it to tilt, then you have to take something from the middle. Or if you cause it to topple, it's even worse. So, yeah, I'd say it sounds like maybe not with you guys since you haven't tried it, but that's going to be my recommendation to try out after this is I'll play actually. They brought over the Itten Fun Brick series, and they're selling it from their website. I don't know if it's in stock right now. Yeah, FYI. So
I looked. I was at PAX Unplugged, and I went to their booth, and I saw the other Fun Bricks, and I was looking for Viking Seesaw because I've heard people talk about it. And I did not see it at PAX Unplugged, but now that I know,
because you showed up too late.
No, I think honestly they probably didn't have enough stock to bring, is my guess. They may not even have enough in stock in the US at this point, but hopefully they bring more over, because it's such a good game. And actually, if you ask Joe, the owner of All Play 2, that's one of his top Knizia games. So,
really?
Wow. It's not just me who recommends it, but it says it's sold out right now, so hopefully they bring over more. So sorry to break your hearts like that, but
that sounds awesome.
No, I think we stick with the top 12. You guys haven't played Viking Seesaw. We probably don't need another auction game. I'll let you guys fight it over because I have my opinions are too strong.
That's why we brought you on, because we need
Yes.
it. Well, I'm hearing from the rest of the crew that llama should be pushed through.
That's my vote.
That was Jared's original vote. Nick didn't have any major qualms, so llama. All right,
Llama top 8.
Llama.
Good.
Llama. All right, here we go.
Rubber
So
meets the road.
our top 8, for those listening, are Ra, Lost Cities, Modern Art, Quest for El Dorado, Tigris and Euphrates, MLEM, Zoo Vadis, and the Llama Suite.
Mm-hmm.
So, final 4. What are we going to be carving into stone as the Reiner Knizia Mount Rushmore? What's it going to be? What is jumping out at you? What should we cut?
Quest for El Dorado.
I think we're pushing Quest for El Dorado unanimously.
I just sorry. I felt like was
Nick, any major qualms about Quest for El Dorado?
No, I mean, like I shared, it's had such a good impact on kind of the modern side of Knizia fandom and Knizia board games. And yeah, I mean, it stands out to me. It's one of my favorite racing games. It's one of my favorite deck builders. And I think he set out to make something unique within the deck building genre, and he actually did. And so yeah, I'm a big fan. No qualms here.
Nice. Quest for El Dorado is going to be our first game on the Mount Rushmore.
Good choice.
It feels too much like Lost Ruins of Arnak without the research track that I just love it so much. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I like the blocking, the interaction part of it. So yes.
What else?
Should we just make the call? I think it's inevitable that a Ra or Modern Art's going up.
I want to have that conversation.
Pull that big
Nick
meaty thing out.
Yeah. Yeah. I didn't come prepared. I don't have an
Yeah. What does Ra do that is unique that Modern Art does not? Like what makes that one more important than Modern Art?
Ooh.
Yeah. I mean, I can see the case for Modern Art, and like if it ended up in the top 4, I'd be like, it makes sense. You know, like I'm not gonna fight it. My personal take is that Modern Art can get it can go off the tracks, and maybe that's part of the fun of it, where like if somebody just like bids way too much for something, like way more than it's worth, and then I'm over here just with like I'm like face palming over here because I'm like, you are giving that person so many points right now, and I wish I was the person selling that because you're paying way too much for it, you know. And like you can have hilarious stuff like that happen in Modern Art. With Ra, it's like you've got 3 or 4 discs, right? That's all you have to bid with, and what's funny is like you kind of have to decide when you're going to go hard and when you're going to hold out, and it's kind of that push your luck element of. And yeah, if you're going to say like we can only fit one push your luck game in the final 4, I would argue Ra is one of Knizia's best push your luck games as well, because the question becomes like, when is the era going to end? And if it's not going to end soon, then I need to hang on to 1 or 2 of my discs, and so I can just buy stuff for cheap at the end. And that's like the magic of Ra for me, when like you have one person left in an era, and you know there's maybe one Ra tile that needs to come out, and for them to just get shut down, and like you get nothing, you lose, good day sir. But then nothing like that does come out, and then they just like fill up the whole track and they earn all of these tiles, and you're just like, I can't believe this is happening. Like it's just so funny. But then that is mixed with some of the most brilliant bidding that I've ever seen in any game, where it's like, okay, I'm going to bid with this high tile, but now that's somebody else can win that in the next round. And maybe I'm sitting here with like absolute garbage tiles, and I have a 1 and a 4 and a 5, and I'm feeling like I can't win anything. But what's funny is when your turn comes around, you can just be like, I invoke Ra, and there's almost nothing out there, and everybody else groans because they know that they're high tiles. They don't want to spend them on this, very little, and you can earn really good stuff for super cheap because you have garbage tiles. And I don't know, it's just such a roller coaster of like highs and lows for me. That
it's brilliant. It's brilliant.
Yeah,
it's a brilliant design. Yeah.
I think the ability to like flood the market in Modern Art makes it it like muddies it a little bit for me. I think Raw is much cleaner of an auction game, and like you said, like that push your luck and strategery that goes into each individual like epic really shines for me. I love both of them.
Oh
yeah,
man.
Nick really said more eloquently what I was bouncing around about how if people don't understand that painting could not possibly be worth this much at the end of the round, even under the best circumstances, and they pay more for that paint. Like we've all seen it happen, and it does kind of, it throws the game for a bit of a loop. Raw's just tighter.
Yeah.
And
it's like if somebody blows their sun discs, then they're just out of the round, and it's like, all right, you're gone. Now we can play the game. Like, it's kind of funny. It's like somebody can spend themselves out of the air very quickly, and then they're just groaning every time the track gets really good, and they're like, oh my gosh, I spent my stuff too soon.
Mm-hmm. And what happens the next time is they try and hold on to their sun discs till the end, and they end up ending the epic without spending 3 of their sun discs.
That's right.
I think I guess that's an argument for modern art though too, is like if you have a bad first epic in Raw, you're kind of like fighting from behind, and it's really hard to get back into it. Whereas modern art, because of this like unintentional king making type thing where people are bidding more than it's worth, you have a greater chance of coming back. So man, I don't know. I'm kind of wringing my hands about it, but it sounds like you guys are all in favor of Raw.
I think Raw's the right answer.
Okay. All right. Raw it is. All right. We got 2 more spots left on the final 4. Any additional thoughts? Any strong feelings about any of these?
Oh, it's not my favorite game. I've only played it twice, and once was at 2 players, and once was with Jared and Spanky. But Tigris and Euphrates, I've wanted to dig into that game just based on its reputation. I mean, a reputation alone. And then Nick's obvious, he's actually played it and can speak for the depth and brilliance of it. I don't think we could look ourselves in the mirror tomorrow and not have Tigris Euphrates on here. I mean, we could be the podcast that put out the Mount Rushmore of Knizia with Llama and then Llama Dice and
those are the last 2 slots.
Llama the card game and Llama Dice.
There would be a small niche
2 llamas.
Like, that's a good choice.
These guys get it.
These guys get it.
Oh man! All right, so Nick, give us an eloquent pitch as to why Tigris and Euphrates is important in Reiner Knizia's catalog.
Yeah, well, I will mention. Yeah, two players is not the strongest version of that. So I'd say if you're going to play it again, 3 or 4 is definitely the way to go. But Tigris and Euphrates, man, they're like, you talk about Knizia games having layers. This one is like, it goes into another dimension of layers where, like, I think people initially, they might feel overwhelmed by like, I don't know what to do. I don't know what the right move is. And then I'm over here like, on my, I don't know what it is, 20th play. Like I haven't played it. There's so many people out there who've played this over hundreds of times and they're still, mastering it. And this is a game where, I don't know, it's like 4-player chess in a sense where a lot of it comes down to what do I have hidden behind my screen, my tiles, and like, how do I make the most of this? Mm-hmm. And then it has that brilliant element of scoring where your final score is whatever color you have the least of. It's like whoever has the most of their least. And what that does is so smart because I may have this huge kingdom, right? Where I have these monuments set up and I'm raking in all of these red points and people are like, man, Nick is just crushing us. But if I only have 2 blue points behind my screen, then my current score is 2, right? And when you realize like, oh shoot, I need to pivot hard. Like it doesn't matter if I have 20 bajillion red at the end of the game, my score is 2 right now.
Yeah.
And that's what's cool is it kind of pushes you outside your comfort zone where you're like, okay, the best way for me to get blue right now is to try and start a revolt against you. And I don't know if I can take you down, but this is my only shot. Like I'm desperate to get these blues, right? And so it creates these scenarios of like desperation where somebody comes up against another person, or they're just like they're biding their time, right? It gives you enough time to build up your supply of a certain tile color until you feel comfortable enough where you're like, I think I can take them on, you know? And then you finally initiate the battle, and that's where, you know, the rubber meets the road, and you see like, do I have enough to take them down? And I don't know, just when you connect two huge kingdoms and you see the conflict that ensues and the consequences that result from that, like it's so cool, because like the person who initiates the conflict, they get to decide who fights first. And if they can kind of like read the table a bit then and figure out like, okay, if I can get this side to win, then that's going to weaken this other color on this side, and that's going to help me in this third battle that's going to happen in this conflict. And like, oh man, it's so cool. I don't know. You see like a conflict just blow up one kingdom, and then one person rakes in 15 points or something crazy like that, and then that's when you're like, man, this game is special. Like there are a lot of highs and a lot of lows to it, but if you dig into it, I don't know, it's my number one game of all time. So yeah, you're not going to see me.
You're not going to pitch against it right now.
I'm not going to pitch against it.
Less. That's great. So
yeah, I mean, I'd say you guys mentioned BGA. Like BGA is a good place to dig into it and learn more. Like even I'll shamelessly plug the Reiner Knizia Discord server. If you guys aren't part of that, I can shoot you an invitation.
Whoa, please do.
Yeah, they'll set up online games, and like we had a T&E tournament last year that was a lot of fun, and so yeah, it's easy to find people who are more than happy to play it with you. They may smoke you if they play it all the time, but like you see things and you learn things, you're like, oh, that was very smart of you. Like even I'm still learning, like, oh, there are strategies here I've never even considered. So very cool.
Yeah,
game.
What you were explaining, I don't believe Clay and I were doing at all. I actually didn't remember playing this game. I was researching how to play it this morning because I was like, I think I want to play this game because I'm going to talk about it tonight.
Yeah.
And Clay's popping off that I actually played. I don't even remember playing it. So
yeah, you did. We played.
Did I win?
Fair. Yeah.
I don't remember.
Pull up the stats.
We'll have to look it back up on the stats.
Yeah.
The stats app. But
okay. We've got one more spot left after Quest for El Dorado, Ra, and Tigris and Euphrates. Those that are not on the list are Lost Cities, Modern Art, MLEM, Zoo Vadis, and Llama Suite. What is going to take this last spot?
We got the easy ones out of the way.
Yeah. How are you leaning, Clay? What do you think?
I mean, it was my first choice, and I stand by it all the way to Mount Rushmore. And that's Lost Cities.
Loyal to the end.
Okay.
Yeah.
This one you went hard with Mary too, right? Like, isn't this one?
Mary and I, we have a blood feud with each other on this game.
Like
I mean,
his wife and him, this is what holds their marriage together.
So it might hold sentimental value there, but when I seriously sit there, I don't even know why I play it. I don't know why I think it's so good, because I literally sit there with my hand of cards. I'm like, oh God, how do I take this next turn? Like, there's nothing I want to do. I don't want to play this card. I don't want to discard it. So I don't want to discard the card that my opponent can pick up that they might need. And just the whole 20-minute game is you like, how do I play a card when I don't want to play a card? And man,
that's a trademark feature of Knizia. Like when the decisions are just agonizing, it's like, I don't want to take a turn right now, but I have to, but I don't want to, you know?
Yeah, exactly. Please just let me pass.
Yeah. Well, he even mentioned, like, I mentioned it to him and he's like, oh yeah, I've heard that all the time. That this is like the go-to, like everybody says this about Lost Cities. They're like, this is the game you play with your significant other. Right. And so I think it's definitely like for couples out there, if you're looking for something, it's hard to recommend a game better than Lost Cities.
Okay.
And the Lost Cities dice game is really good too. The dice drafting to fill out the little roll and write pad, man.
Yeah. There's
same types of mechanics, but it's really sharp. I love it. It's a good travel game.
He's got a whole line of Lost Cities games. It's pretty wild. I still think Lost Cities is the best of the bunch, but yeah, there's some really good spin-offs of this. Mm-hmm.
It's 2-player only. We don't have any of those on there.
That's true.
Not that I find that to be a particularly important genre or category of game, but for the sake of, you asked what way I'm leaning, I'm making my pitch for Lost City. So, somebody else.
Jared, what do you think?
We don't have any animals on the list either here. So there's cats or llamas,
or peacocks /
Zoo Vadis, all the animals, maybe. I'll say when I played Zoo Vadis, it was about a year ago at this point. I wasn't in the right headspace, and it was very difficult to make.
That's a polite way to put it.
Inebriation status. I couldn't make the trade-offs in the right manner, so I need to give Zoo Vadis another hit, honestly. And Clay does have it, so
I do, and I was very excited to play it with you. I was because you, like you said, Nick, you need the right group that's going to be willing to wheel and deal. Jared, he is historically a wheeler and dealer. You should see this guy play Bonanza. I mean, he's trading stink beans for lima beans at whatever price. And so I was like, man, this game's gonna be awesome. I've enjoyed playing it. My kids love playing Zoo Vadis, and I was like, this is gonna be a hoot with Jared. But it had just gotten too far into the night.
It was too late. You need to hit me early. Hit me early.
I've heard plenty of stories of like this was one of the worst gaming experiences I've ever had, and I think it does come down to like the group, right? Some people can really derail the game, but like I've had some of the highest highs I've ever had in board gaming playing it too. So I think it can go both ways.
I'll give it another shot. I'll give it another shot.
Yeah, you should. But it doesn't have to be in the top 4. There's a lot of good picks here in the top 8. Man.
So, Nick, what are you leaning towards?
Oh man, I'm pretty happy, honestly. El Dorado, Ra, and Tigris and Euphrates. Like, I feel like I've done my part. Keeping you guys from going too off the rails. That's like a dynamite list. But what's left over? I'll throw out a few and let you guys figure out what you want. Like, I'd say Lost Cities is a great pick. I'd say, what do we have? MLEM. I wouldn't argue with MLEM. I don't know. They're all good.
My heart says MLEM, but I just feel like it hasn't stood the test of time yet.
Yeah.
But is that a thing? I mean, I'm willing to stake my reputation as an amateur podcaster on the fact that MLEM will stand the test of time.
This goes into the side of a mountain, Clayton.
Yeah.
So
I mean, I did list it as the best game of the year. That my top 10 games of the year. That was my number 1 game that year. So
all right,
I'm not going to argue with you, but I mean, it's
Kitty's on the board.
You want MLEM? Are we going MLEM?
Listen, if I was picking my favorite game left over, it'd be MLEM, obviously.
Probably be MLEM.
All right, Nick, any qualms with MLEM?
No, and for people who are like, well, what about the 2-player gamers among us? I will mention like Quest for El Dorado is excellent at 2 players, and even Roz is pretty decent at 2 players. So like, if you still want, something to serve that audience, you can't go wrong with El Dorado. I don't know if the other ones I would reach for if I just had 2 of us, but MLEM's great. MLEM's really good.
Dang. On Mount Rushmore. I could not be happier to see it there.
Oh,
this is
all right.
That is amazing.
We have it. Our Mount Rushmore of Reiner Knizia games being Quest for El Dorado, Ra, Tigris and Euphrates, and MLEM, the newcomer.
Yes.
Now we're going to equate each of these to presidents.
That'd be really embarrassing for me.
That's it.
Oh man.
Look for the new Mount Rushmore on top of the old Mount Rushmore coming 2050.
Yes.
Awesome.
Yes.
All right. So that is our Mount Rushmore of Reiner Knizia games. Thank you, Nick, for joining us. We have kept you long enough, but before we go, give a shout out for Bitewing and anything you want to mention that you're working on, or any shout outs you want to give.
Yeah, no, I just want to say thank you guys again for having me. It was super fun just chatting games and getting to know you. And of course, I'm always happy to talk about Knizia games. Big fan here. I mean, as far as Bitewing goes, we had kind of the craziest year we've ever had. We were at more conventions we've ever been to. We had more releases than we've ever done in a single year. We're actually probably going to release less games next year just for our sanity and to, to narrow the focus a bit and tighten the budget a bit, I suppose. But yeah, I guess for those of you who are drawn in by the Knizia topic, when is this episode supposed to go live?
So this will be Tuesday.
Yeah,
Tuesday. Very soon.
The seat of our pants.
Okay. So then, yeah, the timing of this, I guess keep an eye out. Here's a teaser. Keep an eye out for an announcement from us in early January. If you're a Knizia fan, it's gonna be a big one, and I'm very excited about it. Yeah, the Knizia train is still going with us. I will admit, we had 6 Knizia releases this year, which is just bonkers. Like, it was funny being at PAX, and some people would walk up and be like, "Oh yeah, I like Reiner Knizia," and I'd be like, "Yeah, these 6 games are all brand new releases from him." Like, yeah, we are a little bit psychotic. The scheduling, it was weird. It just happened that way. But yeah, so that one of our only Knizia releases next year, we're going to reveal in January, early January, right after the holidays. So yeah, I'm super excited. It's going to feel like big box classic Knizia to a lot of folks, and yeah, it's going to be a fun one. It's definitely one I'm looking forward to pulling the curtain on. So
does it rhyme with Shmoo Gafoon?
Whoa. Hey, we're not going to be jumping into anything. There we go.
Nice. Yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to it. Yeah. That's an instant pre-order. I love it.
Yeah, seriously. I don't even ask anymore, Bitewing. Yeah, I think I've gotten every single one of your guys' Kickstarters. So, like I said before, I'm a fan. I'm so happy you came on here.
Yeah, we definitely have a style. I think if you like Knizia games, then you're going to like most of what we're putting out. It's just a lot of what we publish is just games that interest me personally, and same for like Kyle, the other co-founder. It's just stuff we like playing and that we love enough that we're like, yeah, we want to spend our energy and effort on, bringing this to more people. And the whole process is a lot of fun. So yeah, I mean, if you want to follow what we're doing, you can find us at bitewinggames.com. We have social media pages. We have a newsletter, all that good stuff. But yeah, I do appreciate you guys having me on. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, and you have a podcast as well. So
yes, the podcast it's slowed down a bit. This year's been a little hectic, but I'm plugging away at my top games of 2025. So that'll definitely be a thing that comes out. It's also hard when I started the podcast, I would talk about games like from a reviewer perspective. And when you start meeting the people whose games you're reviewing, you'd be like, oh yeah, I didn't like that game very much. And then you feel bad, it's like when you start putting faces to the games, it's like, yeah, it's probably better if I don't put down games now that I'm, especially being from the other side of it. Like you see people put down your own games and you're like, oh man, I love this game.
Yeah.
But that's I think that's just part of being part of the hobby. Like everybody has unique tastes. And it's okay if somebody hates one or all of my games. Like there's so many different games out there that my take is that people who say I don't board game because I don't like board games, it's like, well, you just haven't found the right game yet. There's something for everybody. And I think Knizia is a good designer who has such a broad spectrum of genres that he's had his hands in, and he's done an amazing job with that. Yeah, if you came to me and said hey, I only like this specific genre of game, I could probably find a Knizia game for you that would fit your style. So
that's awesome. That'll be our next episode with you. We're gonna put you on the spot and come with these crazy questions. Give me the Knizia game for when my cat's sick and I'm trying to impress the neighbor.
There you go.
Oh, man, just hurt my arm and I'm playing in a sling and it's a Tuesday and it's snowing outside. What game do I play?
I love it. I love it.
Yeah. Well, thank you again, Nick, for joining us. We are so honored that you were able to take the time and sit down with us and talk Knizia, a designer that we love very much. And man, I'm excited for these future Bitewing releases because you guys have been killing it over there. You guys are doing great work and doing awesome stuff for the board gaming community. So thank you 1,000 times over. Thank you.
Thank you guys.
All right. This has been Operation Game Night with our Mount Rushmore of Knizia games. I have been Travis. He has been Clay. He has been Jared. He has been the one and only Nick Murray from Bitewing Games. And we are out.